Hey guys, so I want to take a few minutes today to talk about the Dear Fat People video that's been going around for the last week or so. And don't worry, I'm not actually here to talk about my feelings about the video itself. That's been done a lot already, and honestly done way better than I could ever hope to do it. My personal favorite responses are from Whitney Thorpe from My Big Fat Fabulous Life and Meghan just here on YouTube. They're both such great people and such wonderful parts of the body positivity community, and I've been lucky to actually interact with them in the past. So I'm going to link to them in the description, and you should go check them out if you want to know my general feelings on the video itself. But today I want to talk about the actual public reaction to the video, because so much has happened, and there's a lot of things that we did right and some stuff that we need to work on. People on social media sites, especially Facebook, were sharing this video everywhere, talking about how hateful and disgusting it was. And honestly, there are some issues here. Because yes, the video was disgusting and terrible and unnecessary and offensive. But at the same time, Nicole Arbour's video and the things she said is not a unique or special incident. When I initially watched the video, I was upset and I felt hurt, but I was also desensitized because as someone who used to be 500 pounds, that is what we hear every day. If you're someone who's never been overweight and you were truly completely disgusted by what Nicole Arbour said in that video, you should react that way every time you see someone get bullied for their weight. The offensive, hurtful body shaming passed as jokes in that video are what overweight people deal with every single day of their lives. So if you watch that video and you really truly thought that what she said was wrong, when you and your friend are in the mall and you see an overweight guy at the food court and your friend makes an offensive joke about it, it is your responsibility to say something about it. Because body shaming in any context is not okay. It doesn't matter if it was a viral video or if it's a guy in a mall that you see. Because honestly, I have a lot of Facebook friends, and some of the people that I saw sharing the video saying it was disgusting are the same people who made fun of me when I was overweight. Body shaming, fat shaming, bullying happens every single day. There are people who deal with it every single day, and it's not always by internet celebrities. It's by people around you, and you have to stand up for them because sometimes they don't have a voice for themselves. Now, we should probably take a second to stop and actually talk about what happened to Nicole herself. Because when the video went viral, the public reacted very defensively and with a lot of hostility, as they should. What she said was wrong and offensive, and even coming from a comedy standpoint, just wasn't funny. The things that I saw in comments that I read and reblogs on Tumblr and all these different channels where people were voicing their opinions about it, some of them were too much. And I'm not trying to defend her, because as someone who used to be overweight and as someone who's a body positive activist, I think that what she did was definitely 100% a dick move. But I saw people in earnest wishing death threats and violence on somebody, and that's not okay. I had a very personal experience recently where someone said something to me that really hurt my feelings, and it made me react with hostility. And what I learned when I angrily fired back is that you cannot teach away hatred with more hatred. The reason why Meghan and Whitney's videos are my favorite is because they're about reaching out and educating somebody. They're not about saying fuck this person and writing them off. The reason why people got so upset when this video went up is because she was body shaming people. She was essentially saying you are not right. You are not okay the way you are. There is something wrong with you. And people who disagree with that because they want to create a safe space in the world for people to be themselves and to thrive and to learn. But in that same vein, when something happens that you disagree with, even if it's blatantly wrong, you can't react with hostility by writing someone off, by insulting or threatening them. Because if you do that, not only are you in the wrong, that other person will never learn. Being body positive, being an activist, is about creating a world that is a safe space for people to be themselves, to thrive, and to become the people they truly need to be. And part of that is realizing our mistakes and learning from them. But if people yell at us or insult us or threaten us, we're never going to learn because we're going to get defensive and become hostile and fire back. Now, Nicole Arbour has basically been ostracized by the YouTube community. She's been outed. Her video got deleted, her social media received a lot of hate, and she was fired off a film project she was working on. And that's all completely right. That's all completely just. That's what should have happened. But when we fire back with hostility, when we reach out and wish death and violence upon somebody, we lose them forever. They're never going to progress, and they're never going to learn, because all they think about is how the world hates them now. What should always happen, and for the most part did happen, is that someone sees that their bad actions have consequences. She gets fired from this job, she gets ostracized by the community, and then people reach out and say, this is why this was a problem, this is why you need to be educated on this, because you don't understand. And then hopefully she gets it, apologizes for it sincerely and openly, admitting that she made a mistake, and then we can talk about building something up again over time. But when your immediate reaction is to fire off violence and death threats, you also become a part of the problem, and you run the risk of them never learning something, and that's what we have to aim for. And look, I get it. It's hard to not react like violently and emotionally to something that's so personal and wrong. But if we want to make a better world, we have to lead by example. We have to be bigger and better than the people who make these bad mistakes. Do I think Nicole Arbour is a bad person? No. I don't know anything about her. I've never met or interacted with her. I've never heard of her before this video, and honestly, I probably won't hear about her after it. I think she's ignorant. I think she's uneducated. I think she's completely unaware of the privilege she has as a conventionally attractive person. I think she has no idea what it means to be overweight, and so she has never reached out and tried to understand. She instead chose to judge. But I am not her. I am trying to lead by example, and so it is not my place to judge this person. I can judge their actions, and it was a pretty dickhead action. But I'm not going to label this person as a bad person, because who knows what could happen. I've said some pretty messed up things in my lifetime. I've said some pretty sexist and even body-shaming things. But I was young and I was uneducated. When I finally realized this, I learned and I grew as a person, and I look back and I apologize for those things, and I still do to this day. I don't think anything that actually happened to her as a result of this video was unjust. Her being outed was totally right. Her getting fired was totally right. But the public's reaction to make her something not human was not okay. And not for her sake. I don't care about her sake. But for the sake of all the people who want to reach out and help others. Because the next time a popular YouTuber says something offensive about women or homosexuals or body shaming, I want the public to react and say, this is wrong. Everyone needs to know this is wrong. But instead of being angry and hateful, I'm going to try and educate them. And that is justice. Ruining their life is not justice. Actually getting them to see the error of their ways and change, that's justice. I'm really proud that the internet reacted in such a strong and passionate way to this negative thing that happened. I think it brought a lot of awareness of body positivity and body shaming out into the mainstream public. I think that's all a really fantastic thing that was a result of this terrible, terrible video that was put up. But I do think we need to work on it a little bit more. If you want change to happen, it has to start with you. So you have to stick to your convictions even when it's just something that you saw on the internet. The next time you notice somebody getting body shamed in public, think about that video. Think about how you felt when you saw it. Think about that disgust that came up inside you because you realized they were insulting fundamentally what people are. And when you see somebody being wrong or being offensive about something, say something and be angry about it. Be passionate about it, but don't respond with hatred or threats. Responding with hatred and threats of violence is all about making you feel better because you're channeling those negative emotions towards somebody that's justified. The public reaction to this video was a good thing, and it makes me proud in a lot of ways because I noticed that a lot more people are up and coming body positive people that I didn't think were before. But they have to be aware of it, and they have to approach it in the right way if they want to make any progress. I think in a lot of ways we took something hateful and turned it into something that can actually reach out and help more people. Because now there's all these videos on the internet of people reacting to that video and saying, there's nothing wrong with you, you are beautiful as you are, and don't listen to that person. It's all messy and complicated, but basically, change starts with you. And try and aim to inspire and educate others, even when you're angry and even when you're passionate. Don't argue and don't yell because you're angry. Argue and yell because you have something important to say and you need them to understand it. Believe in what you say no matter what the context. That's how you change the world. And that's how we can all do it together. Okay, this got really preachy. I'm gonna go, but I just needed to say all that. Check out Meghan and Whitney's videos down there. Follow all my social media stuff, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, anything you want. That's all down there. And I'll see you guys soon.